This is a book by an author from New Zealand. This is Better the Blood by Michael Bennett. So it's set in New Zealand. Hannah is a detective who likes to draw, has a rebellious teenage daughter, and her boss is also her almost ex-husband. One day, Hannah receives an anonymous video that hints at the location of a crime, and soon she finds herself in a race against time to stop a serial killer intent on revenge for a racially motivated crime that happened over 100 years ago. And the killer may be reaching out to her because, like him, she is also Maori and has a link to the place where the killer has planned it all to end. Michael Bennett is a filmmaker who himself is Maori and understands the horrible weight of New Zealand's colonial past on its original inhabitants. This is his debut thriller, and it focuses on some of the injustices against Indigenous people, both in the past and the present. The book is peppered with Maori words and concepts, with explanations as footnotes, which I thought was really cool. I really wanted to like this book. Thrillers from filmmakers seem very popular lately, and often they make for really good, fast-paced, sort of cinematic reads. So a book I reviewed recently called Geiger is a great example of this. The writing style of this book and the way the characters are written made me kind of wonder if this was originally written as a script and then turned into a novel when it didn't get financed to be made into a film. It reads like an episode of a detective TV show with a story based around a very unlikely serial killing. The characters are rather flat, and we don't really get to see their inner lives and feelings that much, with the book more focused on action sequences and outward character traits. There really isn't any mystery or suspense in the story because we know almost immediately the why and the how and the who of the case. Even earlier than that, if you read the blurb on the back of the book. Also, the serial killer himself feels like a TV trope or someone from Agatha Christie, like the ABC murders, perhaps. The killer has this elaborate plan and they're enacting it in organized steps, but they're not really psychologically real as a character. In an era of true crime and books, podcasts, documentaries, I feel like this is a bit of an awkward misstep. The story is sprinkled liberally with speeches about racism and colonialism, which doesn't really feel like something that would naturally flow out of someone's mouth under the circumstances. I think if you're reading this book, you already agree with the author, and if you don't, you're probably not going to pick it up in the first place. So it not only felt unnatural, but it slowed down the narrative, and it was also preaching to the choir. This book could have been a lot more effective at making the points it makes, and they are valid points, if it showed us and made us feel rather than just telling. On the whole, this felt a bit shallow to me. It's really a political polemic masquerading as a thriller, and I just wanted more from it. I really wanted to learn something via a good detective story, and this just wasn't satisfying or convincing on either front. Even as I agreed with the general attitude that the author takes, other than him believing that serial murder is justified, that was a step too far for me, but I really love New Zealand stories, writers, filmmakers, and I will look out for more books, especially by Maori writers in future. Hopefully this book means that we will be seeing more Antipodean authors on shelves up here in Canada, because that would be great. So I'm not sure who to recommend this one to. Perhaps if you're going in reading it and not expecting it to be a thriller, but more as a topical book about revenge on colonialism, or as a book by a Maori author, I think you might enjoy it more than if you're hoping for a thriller with those added elements. So that's just my take on it. I'm sad because I did really want to like this one, and I don't really enjoy giving a negative review at all, but I'm afraid I have to. Thank you to the publisher for the copy of this one for review, as always. You can check out some of my other videos. I also have another channel and socials, so you can find links below if you want more of that. And if you want to hang out again, remember to like and subscribe. And you can always leave a comment, let me know what you thought, or let me know what else you might want to see. Thank you.